why do you think some students are very motivated to work very hard in schools while others are not? Anyone?
Okay. So for my context, what I have felt that actually the questions that I also written in my in the Google form, those were actually aligned towards mental well-being or mental pressures on the teenagers that I am
Yeah.
seeing every day in my classroom. So I think the students, those who are not pressured to like, okay, you have to achieve this, you have to do this, or pressurized to achieve something that is fixed, or rather they have given the chance to explore the chance to do whatever they're feeling that okay, no, this I can, I'm feeling like okay, I have to try here. I think those students are highly motivated, and the students, those who are being pressurized by this, by the teachers, by the parents at home, they are not performing that well. This I have seen in my classroom. So that is
Correct.
my outtake on this question. Thank you.
Great reflection. So thank you for sharing this, because what you are talking about is we all just tell our students, you focus on this thing, you have to achieve it. What growth mindset talks about it, in everything which a student does, if they are not performing well also, there's some effort they have been putting in those things. So in school, if we start focusing on efforts of students, and this particularly why it becomes crucial is in all of your classroom, you will find that these students are actually putting effort in something or the other. It might not be maths, but it might be football. So can you connect those efforts from football field to the school, to the maths? Hey, you put a lot of effort in the football, and if you put the same effort in your maths, you can be good at those as well. But what we say to a student is, not you guys, but a lot of our teachers is, you have to get 90% marks in maths, and we just keep focusing on that rather than telling them the path. So rather than the goal, we all need to focus on the path, how our students can achieve that particular bit. So, so decades of research shows a powerful relationship between mindset and achievement. Do you have a positive mindset? Do you have a fixed mindset, and how much you are able to achieve over there? Students' beliefs about intelligence and learning impact, motivation, academic behavior, responses to challenges and setbacks, achievement. So all of these really determines how our students will be performing. And Kelsey Dweck, she's this amazing lady who did this research in Stanford University for 10 years, and she says a lot of times, if you would have heard these comments like, hey, this student is a dumb, hey, this student can't do anything. Now these all mindsets comes from a teacher, and she says these mindsets, when we say, are negative for a student. In fact, Kelsey Dweck says that if we tell a student, hey, this particular student is a born intelligent, it's actually a fixed mindset, because what we are telling that is that intelligence is can be a born trait. As per her research, intelligence can never be a born trait. It's about the families, how much they have supported. And some people might be good in maths or something, but everyone is intelligent. That's the faith which a teacher needs to have. So that's why what she says is, we have to all the time keep telling our students that you can grow your intelligence through effort. So at no point we have to tell, hey, you are a born intelligent or you are dumb, because both shows the fixed mindset of a teacher. But let's say a teacher says, hey, you are intelligent because you worked hard in the maths. You are intelligent because you practice a lot for this football match. Can anyone tell me the difference between these two statements? There are two statements. First statement is, you're born intelligent. That's one statement made by a teacher. The other teacher makes the statement, you have done great in maths because you worked really hard for this maths test. So these are two teachers making same statement to a particular student. But can you tell me the difference in these two statements? So you are born intelligent, or the other statement, you really worked, you are able to perform really well in this maths test because you have worked really hard for this particular test.
Actually, if it, yes, Amnesia, you want to answer, you can go. No worries.
Yeah.
I thought the second answer, the second statement made by the teacher is the right statement, which says that the child was being able to score the mathematics math because he has prepared very well. Using the word born with wisdom is trying to pull down the power of the child being able to grow and work on itself. So the best one is the second statement uttered by the teacher. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So you got it. You got it correct, that the second statement talks about effort, while the first statement just talks about that you are intelligent, hey, you are able to do great. But the second statement actually is able to focus on the growth mindset of that particular student. Do you want to add anything else?
Exactly what Amnesia has said. So the second statement is giving the student the freedom, sense of freedom, that he or she has the ability to
Yeah.
take him or herself forward. Whereas the first statement is actually making it a more constrained, more like okay, you have this, so that's why you can come this far. But if you didn't have this, you couldn't have achieved it. So that was my
Yeah.
opinion.
And you won't believe, when I reflected on my teaching journey, how many times I actually have made a fixed mindset statement to my kids. and you know don't realize, and you say, hey, I'm appreciating my kid, what can be wrong in this particular statement? And Carol C. Dweck in her book shows by through various examples. Let's say you make this statement in a class, you're not just impacting that particular student, you're actually impacting all the complete class, because you are making that particular statement in front of the complete class. Because let's say right now in this group, I make this statement to Ibn. Now, other people in this meeting will think, hey, how can then I can never be that particular intelligent student because he's born intelligent. So you are not laying down the path. How can someone be intelligent like Ibn? If you say Ibn is good in maths or Ibn is good in science because today he worked really hard for this, then you are able to say to all the others as well that if you work hard like Ibn, then you can also be intelligent like Ibn. So it was really mind-boggling for me how sometimes we make mistakes without realizing these small things. So these two beliefs lead students to a very different conclusions about the meaning of events. So I've created a lot of cases also around it, which we will do in the second part, that how these kinds of statements affects the complete classrooms or the particular students. Now, and the meaning they make, the narrative they construct determines the behavior in which they choose to engage. So again, going back to the particular statement, if we make some student, this particular example, you're born intelligent. Now what happens is, this particular student would not like to put effort because he will consider, hey, I'm born intelligent, then whatever I do would be correct all the time. Isn't it?
It's very relatable. I'm actually looking at my class right now. The whole thing is coming in front of me in my mind. So this is what actually happens in my classroom. I've seen it, so I can relate to it.
Correct. So that's very powerful. And these particular students would also keep thinking of, I don't want to be a bad student in the front of the teacher. So what happens is, a lot of time you would observe in a classroom that this particular student was great in 4th standard, but the moment algebra comes in 5th or 6th standard, this student never performs. And Carol C. Dweck gives a lot of examples that this has happened because till 4th standard, someone has been telling this particular student, you are intelligent, you are born intelligent. They were never focusing on the effort. So when algebra comes, these particular students think, because I was good in maths, addition, subtraction, therefore I should be able to get algebra also quickly. And they then starts blaming algebra or some other subject, that now teacher is bad, or algebra is so tough, or this is not a subject I like, that they never put in effort to learn those concepts, while they had a very sharp brain and they were able to put efforts while they were in the 4th grade, because they thought with the same effort they should be able to get the algebra as well, but algebra required them to put in extra effort. Goal of a fixed mindset student in a school. Can anyone say what will come over here?
To pass the grade, I think, in case
Yes.
of fixed mindset.
Correct. What would be the mindset of growth student, Ibn? Ibn, are you with us?
Please, your question again, please.
Yeah. So what I'm asking is, what will come in this particular slide right now? So if you can tell me what will come in the growth mindset. Sorry. So what will come in the growth mindset bracket?
No idea for now.
Okay. So definitely this will come. He wants to look smart. He wants to show to everyone that it's intelligence, but this particular student would be about learning. So this particular student wants to learn as much as possible in the school, rather than, and if you have read about Apple CEO, he actually dropped from college because he wanted to learn new subjects, and he always felt that just getting a Stanford degree, which we all might consider to be the one of the greatest thing, but he said, I don't want to have a Stanford degree. What I actually want is to learn. So he actually sat in the calligraphy class because he felt that calligraphy class adds the most of the value. So in our classroom also, we should actually help our student to focus on that passing 5th grade with being top is not the most important, but do you feel that you have learned the maximum in this year is what is important. Do you think a fixed mindset student will value effort?
It's possible.
Impossible?
It's possible.
Yeah. So he would not value the. Why my voice is equal? Okay. So he will not value the effort, but a growth mindset student will value the effort. So let's see. So I've created some cases also. Let's get inside of a student with a fixed mindset, and it sits in this classroom confronted with algebra for the first time. Up until then, he has breezed through maths even when he barely paid attention in class and skimped on his homework. He always got A's. So I was talking about this particular example. So right, this particular student always has been getting A's, but now he has got algebra. But this is different. It's hard. The student feels anxious and thinks, what if I'm not good at maths as I thought? What if other kids understand it and I don't? And some level, he realizes that he has two choices: try hard or turn off. His interest in maths begins to wane and his attention wanders. He tells himself, who cares about this stuff? It's for nerds. I could do it if I wanted, but it's so boring. So now he's making statements for himself that, hey, this is not worthwhile. So I'm not going to do this. It's for nerds. I don't want to do it. So boring. You don't see CEOs and sports stars solving for X and Y. So a fixed mindset student starts making excuses for not doing things. So, uh, so that's why we always had to ensure that our students in our classroom are growth mindset students. Let's look at our growth mindset students and then we will discuss. So this student has a growth mindset and he's having his first encounter with algebra. She finds it new, hard, and confusing, unlike anything else she has ever learned. But she's determined to understand it. She listens to everything the teacher says, asks the teacher questions after class, and takes her textbook home and reads the chapter over twice. Can you see? While he was saying, who needs this effort? This is for nerds. It's so boring. This particular girl goes back, puts extra effort, and as she begins to get it, she feels exaggerated. A new world of maths opens for her. So can you see how much a growth mindset student differs from fixed mindset? And I can right now visualize my whole class and can say, oh, this particular student was showing me fixed mindset, but this particular student was showing growth mindset. And Carol C. Dweck says the most interesting part is it's also the effort of teachers that how did they worked on this particular thing. So she says, praising the students for the effort. So for example, in this particular teacher, let's say Eben was a teacher and he gives this girl example to the class and says, look at this particular girl. She is able to get an algebra because I have been giving her extra homework, extra textbook, and she's able to study. Now, everyone in the class understands that this is not some magical thing which this girl has been able to do. It's because she's putting extra effort in her work. Do you both agree with me?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Yes. So I hope because when I first learned about growth mindset and I taught it to a lot of teachers I work with 180 schools, they all said like how much blame is with the teachers rather than the students on having this growth and the fixed mindset. So this particular is always thinking of looking smart is most important. The main thing I want when I do my school work is to show how good I am at it. And this particular student always feels that learning is most important. Learn things in my class, then it to get best grades. Now, this is very interesting experiment which happened for this particular bit. And what happened over here is they asked a question to a student. Participants has to type the answer. Participants are told whether they are right or wrong. And then brain activation is recorded. And then participants are told the answer. Now, in this particular point of point 3, participants are told whether they are right or wrong. The fixed mindset student and growth mindset students, all of their minds actually got activated. So what Kelsey Dweck shows over here is that both the mindset of fixed mindset and growth mindsets are very excited to know whether they have done something right or wrong. But then she says the interesting part comes when the teacher was telling them whether they what is the right way of doing it. It's only the growth mindset students who was interested to know what is the right way to do that question. And then as she gave them another mock test with the same kind of a question, and you all can imagine whether fixed mindset or growth mindset student did well. Which kind of student would have done well? Do you want me to explain the experiment again?
Yes.
Okay. So even there was this particular thing which scientists put on a lot of students, and these students was given an exam. And then after the exam, all the students were told whether they were right or wrong. At this point, and these students were classified in growth and fixed mindset student by the teacher. So when these students were evaluated, both the students with growth and fixed mindsets all were very excited to know whether they have done the right or wrong. And then the teacher started telling them how in the questions where they have made the mistake, how they should have done that. And what they realized is only the growth mindset students were excited to know how to do it in the right manner. So fixed mindset students was only interested to know whether their answers was right or wrong. They were not interested to know how to make their errors from wrong to right. And then Carol C. Dweck says is, after some time, they gave another exam to these particular students with the same set of questions. And because fixed mindsets were only focusing on right and wrong, they were not performed as well in comparison to the growth mindset students. So growth mindset students kept on going ahead and ahead and they were able to improve drastically over time in comparison to a fixed mindset students. So they were only interested in knowing whether it was right or wrong, but they were never interested in knowing how to really do a problem. So they don't value effort. They value that they should look smart, but our growth mindset students always react that uh, that they need to focus on effort. Now, how do a growth? Yeah, someone wants to ask something.
I got
Okay.
the explanation now.
Yeah. Now, what do you think the reaction to failure would be on a fixed mindset and a growth mindset?
Oh, to failure, those people, growth mindset, they will not feel okay, but they are ready to grow and do the question again. Why those ones with fixed mindset, they will just see it as a normal thing because they have no mindset of getting better. Even when they feel bad, they are still not happy because they've known it already. They are learning it newly. So that's what I've discovered. So most of the time, there's no special reaction from the fixed mindset, but growth mindset, they feel bad and they want to grow better. Thank you very much.
Awesome, Eben. That's completely correct, and that's what happens. And growth mindset says, "Hey, I need to do effort more." While reaction to fail, a fixed mindset student say, "Hey, this is the blame of anyone. The teacher sets the paper out of the syllabus." So what they say is, if you start making excuses, then you would never be able to improve. And while we all knew that, but now we know that there's a strategy to improve on those particular things. And a growth mindset always focus on that. I need to ensure that I need to keep focusing on. So the values of effort, the effort is negative. To tell the truth, when I work hard at my school, work, it makes me feel like I'm not very smart. So they feel because I was born intelligent, if I work hard, then I'm actually losing my intelligence. While over here, they feel if I work hard, then I'm becoming better at something. So think of this: how many teachers would have made this statement to the students? This student is just intelligent. I don't know how he does it, but this student is amazing. And now what you are seeing is Carol C. Dweck is saying this has made them to feel hard work is negative and they are losing their natural instinct if they work hard. And while hard work is the reality, which should have been praised by every teacher in every classroom. I'm not saying that teachers does it with some negative intention, but sometimes it has been what has been passed from our teachers to us, and we are just passing it to our students without realizing what negative effect it can have on the students. So these students' reaction to failure, they give up or they start making excuses, while a growth mindset students work harder.
Yeah, yeah.
So this particular student feels helpless. I would spend less time on this subject from now on. I will try not to take this subject ever again. I would try to cheat on the next test. So they want to look, and you can connect it that give up student is again trying to look smart. That's why they are saying, I would try to cheat on the next test. While a resilient student says, I would work harder in this class from now on. I would spend more time studying the test. So this particular student, all the time, while they both might have scored less, this particular student is saying, I can't do this. And this particular student is saying, we need to work hard on this particular bit to be better at this particular thing. Right? And then we have got achievement. Over the time, you will see, because this student is focusing on this, while he was a great student in a class, but over time, this student decreases his performance and he keeps falling behind. But a growth mindset might have started at a very low point, but because he wanted to learn, he values effort, he was working harder, he will keep going higher and higher and will become a great student. Great. So I have also compiled some case studies, but I wanted to stop here today and hear your thoughts, and then
Seriously, this class is special. I want to appreciate Mr. Prashat for this opportunity. Seeing this, like the class was and the presentation so nice, and it's a kind of gain even to me about the fixed mindset and growth mindset. Well done, more strength. So I will, when another one come, I know how to link up others and call them around from Teach for Nigeria. They should join and just come and hear from this great man. No, this is wow. Well done, sir.
sounds good. Thanks, Eben. And Eben, we will do it in the second part. We will talk about case studies on how we can actually work on it. Mehdi, any feedback from you or any comments which came to your mind?
Thank you, Prashant. It was a very good presentation. Actually, it has been quite some time that I have actually read about growth mindset or have discussed about growth mindset. So today it was like jargoning my brain once again and getting a refresher sort of training. So thank you very much for bringing these things up and making such an amazing presentation and making us pushing us to discuss. So I'm also looking forward to the second part of the discussion today. Thank you.